my fridge has turned almost invisible. So I've put this piece of 5mm ply on here, the squishy stuff. I've made it squishy myself, of course. Put that on there to hide the bed beam, so you can't see that. And then I literally just have, until I decide exactly what I'm going to do with everything else, that is just the thermal fabric there. I can lift it up if I want to get in the back. I can lift it up if I need to get airflow in there. So it makes it a lot more versatile. So I don't know whether I'm going to keep it. That little crease there is annoying me. So I have these wonderful things here for this kit. Is a marine press stud kit. So you've got all your press studs, but you've got ones with screws in, like this one here at the bottom. So you can just screw press studs into the side of each of the cabinets, and then obviously put it on the fabric as well, and make it so it's nice and taut instead. And then you just pop a popper if you need to get behind there, because that's where my EcoFlow is. So if I need to charge it, I need to pull a cable out and plug it in. But yeah, so this today it's invisible. However, it's not, because it is my fridge. And firstly, this happened, so I couldn't open it. So instead, I put a hinge on it so I can. And then I've got this light here that lights up. There's a catch on the front of my fridge that I can't get to now. So a piece of webbing pops the catch up, and then I can see in my fridge. That has pleased me greatly. John's doing some work this morning, and after that it is a working on my van day today. While the van is reasonably clean, I'm going to give it a dust. It does get awfully dusty in here, as you can imagine. We're going to see about using the plasti dip on my front bumpers and the side panels at the bottom of my van, because they're all different colours, and it really detracts from how lovely this van is. So that's the thing for today. The service parts that aren't messy will do. Apparently I need to go for a drive before we do the oil change and things, so that will have to be once we've done the painting, because otherwise we've got to wash the van again. And then John's got a few things he's going to do electric wise. This is how my fridge is plugged in at the moment. She says unplugging it. So he's going to hardwire that in the back for me, and I'm going to get some more things packed. I think I'm going to get some food packed in here, because there's food everywhere at the minute, so much so that we don't know where anything is. So we're going to get all of the food and all of the cooking implements and put them in our vans. So if we're cooking in the vans, and simplify things a lot doing it that way. And then it's just a case of figuring out what's left to go in. I mean, I can see my fishing gear from here, so I need to make sure that gets in, and some other bits and bats. But yeah, it's getting exciting now. So this is literally the final hurdle with my van. So yesterday I did that, and mid-step, if it's bright enough around here, finished off the back of the van. Let me put some lights in. I've got some motion activated lights under there. That looks really nice and cool. But I did this. So that's just carpet covered ply, and that's holding that in nicely, and it's hiding everything else and stopping everything from falling out. So I'm really pleased with how that's turned out too. We are number plated off. Isopropanol everywhere. Clean. Filthy. And we're just about to start masking. So I am taking instructions. Johnny's being chief supervisor. We're getting cracking with that. I have a very important job. Well, that's made a difference, hasn't it? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nobody got away paint-free in this malarkey. Not me, not the van. You've no paint on?
Tiny little bit.
Oh, a tiny little bit. How the heck?
I was spraying.
Anyway, so we are going to go and chill in John's van for a little bit while this dries, so we don't die, because it is fume in here, isn't it?
A little.
So yeah, so another update once everything's back in at the front and it looks all smashing again. And here we have the morning after. So it's had a chance to dry and cure a little. Got my number plate and my badge back on. But that, I mean, obviously this is next on the list. It's just that we're off to the Harrogate show. So we'll do that when we get back. We'll check outside that everything's done nice. There's no patchiness to it, just in case we need to top it up. And then we're going to do the door returns because, you know, this was a well-used van. So we'll just do up to the same line here all the way through and tidy that up nicely. But yeah, looks amazing. It's like a new van. Just got to sort these things out. Got a bit of a plan for my wheels, so we're going to just do a tart up of them and then watch this space. So we have had a lovely weekend. Got Mevy, John's van, Daz, and next to Daz was Tash and John. And we have been at the Motorhome and Campervan show at Harrogate. It's a cracking venue. It's really good. It's not massive, it really isn't, but it's just nice and it feels laid back and it's easier to get around and do things than at the NEC. So definitely got our favour on this one. We have come here to be Team Life Beyond Bricks and Urban Motorhome because they have killed it this weekend with their talks. They were in the seminar room doing some chats and we were like their biggest fans at the front. And that was just been so lovely. We've had a couple of nights of food in Daz's van. It's just been lovely. It's been a big catch up. We've basically just been out just to catch up with them because hopefully soon our travels are going to start. And once our travels start, then it's going to be a while till we catch up again. Hopefully we'll all be catching up in a different country, which on its own will be very exciting indeed. We're going to get back tonight and then it's service time tomorrow to get the service done, get the under trays on. And then I'm going to get going on a little bit of a shakedown of my own, I think.
Hiya.
Hiya, what are you doing?
Putting some lights on your freshly painted bumper.
Oh, doesn't it look good? It's swanky.
So yeah, you've got some nice DRL lights down the bottom
Let's have a look. Oh, and they've got little black thingies on them and everything.
Surrounds,
Yeah. Oh.
Well, I've not done your other one yet, but I've finished your middle light bar off.
And I've got my little light bar. I mean, how cool is that? It's so discreet and lovely, but I can blind people. I won't blind people.
No, but you can illuminate the road a little bit more.
Yes, very tactful.
Angry Mandy.
Angry. Hey, I don't flash with my van much.
Hopefully, yeah, you just don't flash.
Yeah, I don't flash. No flashing.
No flashing.
So the lights are done. I have my trusty assistant in there. Ignition on, my dear. So I have DRLs. There. Main beam on, my dear. Thank you. The funny thing I find is that I ask myself this question a lot. It's like, do I want to service my van? And the answer I find is, I want to be able to. I don't want to. But I know somebody who will make sure it's done. There's a couple of little things that I'm cracking on with doing, and John can either spend the time showing me how to do it, bearing in mind it's not the first time you've shown me how to service and stuff before. I know how to check oil and all of those other things, so he's going to crack on because he's so lovely. Because he knows that as soon as he's done this, he can have his workshop back.
Yay! Finish my van.
Yay! So yeah, so this is literally the final hurdle on the stuff that has to be done. Today, or yesterday, I had myself a parcel delivered because I have decided that I want to try and see what I can do to get a shower in my van because I am missing the shower. I mean, it's a pain in the bum to go out and get a shower. It's like 3 hours out of my day. So I have paddling pool. My sink is just there. So I can fill it up with the right temperature water, chuck the pumpy, valvey thing in there, and then have a shower. It'll be a handheld jobby. I don't mind. Clean is clean, isn't it? So I'll get incredibly clean feet, which is always a good thing. And hopefully that will work. You won't be seeing any footage of that, but I'll show you the setup before I get in. So we were just out having a cheeky KFC and come back to the van and we can see dripping. So it's like, oh, great, okay. I know we had to top up the coolant the other day. And look at this. The engine cover has been rubbing against the hose so much that there's a blemmin' hole in it. So it's been leaking out. So that's why we needed to top it up before. We just assumed it hadn't been checked for a while. But yeah, so it's rubbed in two places. One's gone all the way through and one you can see further up top hasn't. Wow, yeah, you can see that coming out. Squirting out. Wow, oh, yep, you got me. Oh, crikey, okay.
So wait for that to cool down. And then that would suggest.
Oh, hi. Hi. Oh, she's a sweetie girl. Do we need some treaties? Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully that will get in there. So we'll just slice where it's punctured and then join the two sides over it, get some clamps around it, and that should be a good one.
Nice one, thank you, darling.
Welcome.
She's so cheeky, girl. Yes. You know what John's doing.
Oh, some treats for Jess.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good girl. And we have already checked with Jess's owner that it's okay to give her treats. Right, and you can see the fix there. So there is some heat resistant piping with some Jubilee clips on. So that's just basically been cut where the leak was. And now it's all fixed back together again, and it's just been running and has been tested and no longer leaks. So yeah, you just need to buy some more coolant because that is the last of it, and just do that and top it up. So what we're doing here?
We are giving the gearbox and engine a bit of ZX1, which is friction reducing, well, it says micro oil metal treatment.
The ultimate friction eliminator.
Virtually eliminates friction. Enhances cold start protection and anti-wear performance.
We've had some of that in every car since it came out, haven't we?
Yeah.
And it is amazing stuff.
The only time I've ever forgot to put it in was when the gearbox went on both fans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then it brought it back to mind. It's like, oh, maybe we should put it in. So yeah, that's in mine, engine and gearbox, and it's in Mandy's as well. So she's doing the service now, so make sure that's in there, folks. And
how much is that?
It's about 20 something quid. And you don't put the whole bottle in, you put tiny amounts in. You can even put it into your diesel tank, and it'll lubricate the inside of your diesel pump as well. So it's clever stuff, used in race engines.
Yeah, so there you go, folks. Bit of a hint for you. Shutters up. That means it's time for a test drive. Oh, not a test drive as such, but you know, gotta give it a run to get that oil going. And then yeah, I think this is... Then it's under tray time. Under tray time? Hey? Yes, under tray time. John has just fitted my under trays for me, so the whole underside of my engine is now nicely protected. I think they were about 100 quid for the set. Yeah. We'll put an eBay link in the description so you can see them, but they are a really good investment to make sure that the bottom of your engine stays nicely protected. Only thing I can say is if you take your van in for service and you've got them on, make sure they're still there when you pick your van up, because no offence to any mechanics out there, but they have a real bad habit of taking them off to do the service and not putting them back on again. So, yeah, so there's that. And let me show you something. Look at them wheels. Don't they look so much better now they're black? That's amazing. I think that's the last of the major exterior transformations, apart from getting some cameras on the top there. But yes, that just looks amazing. So the bottom trim there and the wheels and everything, it's plastered it paint. John has got a video on the Gadget John channel where he painted his van, and it's got all the details of what to buy and what to prep. But it's an amazing result. It's amazing. Now I was thinking that this would be a little bit more enclosed than it is. However, you got to go with what you've got. If I just have the spray pointed at me and not so it can spray back out again, that I should be okay. That's me clean and shaved. Awesome. Awesome. I am refreshed and dry and lovely in my robe. And when I can remember where I got it from, I'll tell you, because it was at the show. Tash has been raving about these for ages, and I can see why, because I've literally just chucked this over and I dried my legs off with it, and yeah, I can feel myself getting drier as we speak. So after some showers, spray painting and servicing, I'll leave you looking at the gorgeous little raindrops on my roof light above my bed. Thanks for joining me on this one, guys. Hopefully we'll get some travel videos coming to you real soon. So take care, and I'll see you then.